say the same. So we have to control AI. We already have our own intelligence. We were born with our own intelligence. And our intelligence is, or actually in ancient times, they really taught through vibration. They taught through resonance. Like, you had to feel what they were saying in your heart. You had to resonate with it. And the experience, you had to experience it, in order for it to be a knowing within you. We don't do that. We just sit and we talk and we teach, and then we expect the children to understand or to learn from what we're saying. We're educating. We're not utilizing the child's intelligence, because we're teaching only to their intellect, to their mind, and we are expecting them to believe what we're saying, and that's how the grading system is working. Did the child believe what we were saying? How much of it did they believe? Oh, they believed 80% of it. Let's give them an A. It has nothing to do with your intelligence, because and that's what I'm thinking. Do the teachers all think that they're teaching us intelligence? Because that's not true. If we didn't have intelligence, we wouldn't be able to listen to what they're saying, absorb it within ourselves, and be able to regurgitate it out back to them. That takes intelligence. What they're giving us, the information, that's not intelligence, that's information. And that's what we have to understand. If we're going to use information, don't use it to try to create intelligence within us. No, use it to expand the intelligence that's already in us, to grow the intelligence that's already in us into a more divine state, a more state of understanding. And that's why it is so important to ask questions. That's what I do like about school, is that the students are allowed to ask questions. However, if you get too deep in the question, then I don't think the teacher appreciates that. And that's one thing that I didn't get in church growing up. You couldn't ask questions. You could only hear the message. That was it. Don't ask a question. Oh, Lord. Or if you are going to ask a question, make sure that question is in agreement with what is said. But don't ask no questions, really. You can't ask the preacher man while he's preaching, that's for sure. You're going to ask him a question, ask him after the sermon is over. And that's kind of weird. It really is, because questions help to expand intelligence. And so if there's no questions being asked, or no questions allowed to be asked, why not? Why not? Anyway, I can get into that in another video. I'm just talking about the AI for now. And another thing too with the AI, when he was explaining it to me, like, saying that we're pulling on AI as though its thoughts are our own, it made me think of divine consciousness. It made me think of a universal mind. I know, I haven't really mentioned that part of things. But yeah, there's a universe, the all-knowing God. All right? That's the mind of the all-knowing. And what we're doing is getting our information from the all-knowing mind through our own awareness. And yeah, we're all thinking it's our own thoughts. We're creating it. We're thinking it. Well, look at the thought I just thought of. I don't know. I don't think that you can think a thought that the all-knowing mind hasn't already thought. You see, you're resonating with a thought already within the all-knowing mind. And since you connected to it and you have an understanding of it, you just grew your intelligence a little bit. That's how that's working. Well, according to me. I don't know what the rest of the world is saying, but that's what I come to understand. I understand a lot of things. I also understand that, also with the AI, he was saying that we are trying to get our identities from AI. And remember when I talked about identity and how it's the ego? And the more identities you put on yourself, like, I'm a girl, then I'm a woman, then I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, who I am, my name, I'm, when I was in a relationship, I was, a partner. I was, all these titles. Those are all egos. These are all personal identifications of ourselves. Yeah. So we got to get it straight. Don't let our egos go out of hand. And how we permit our ego to get out of hand and to evolve into the ally, the more mature ego, is to remember not only who we are, but what we are. We are both two things, a who and a what. Jesus Christ was two things, a who and a what. God is two things, a who and a what. In Jesus Christ's case, he was a what. The word, before it became flesh, and then it became a who when the word became flesh. And I said in the last video, I even, put in the little thumbnail, love is the word. L.O.V.E, living one vibrational energy, is the word. And all of us really truly are the word. Because all of us are living one vibrational energy. Believe it or not, that's what's going down. It truly is. God is love. God is living one vibrational energy. God is everywhere and everything. God is everything. I don't know how to, say it any clearer. God is everything. Because everything is love. The what of everything is love. Living one vibrational energy. Now, you could be toxic in the living one vibrational energy by not going with the flow of the divine I am that I am, which is, again, the evidence is in the seed. It is an energy that flows, abundance, well-being, prosperity. It expands, it grows, it matures. All of that is God. Okay? And when you are in that flow, you know what I'm going to say. You're destined for a life of abundance and well-being and prosperity for all. I forgot to always put in that for all, because that for all part is the God part. There'll be Christians that'll say, oh no, there's no such thing as a prosperity gospel. That's just people, being greedy, being rich. They're sitting up there, in the church, the big mega church, just talking all that prosperity gospel, and they're sitting up there getting rich and the congregation is poor. That ain't that. No. There is a prosperity gospel, but it's the abundance, well-being, and prosperity for all gospels. So if that preacher is the only one getting rich and prospering in that church, he don't have the right prosperity gospel. Now, if his whole congregation is prospering right along with him, well, he's on to something. That reminds me of Reverend Ike. Reverend Ike. Oh yeah, I'm going to talk about him one time too. I'm sure that, the preachers of the 1970s and 80s weren't impressed with Reverend Ike. They probably thought he was, he was preaching the wrong gospel, because he was just prospering too much. But his congregation was prospering too, and he was speaking truth. Oh yeah, I can't wait to talk on Reverend Ike. He's one of my favorite preachers. Sure is. But anyway, again, the who and the what. The what is we are living one vibrational energy. Okay? And we can expand within it. Oh my goodness, this hair is bothering me so much. I apologize. But when you're not in the flow of living one vibrational energy with God, with the all, then you're only living it within yourself. And you're not really living. There's no way you're living it truly within yourself. You're living it detached from, well, you're thinking you're detached from it in your own mind, in your virtual reality. Really, you are in a virtual reality within your mind if you do not understand that you are living one vibrational energy with everything and everyone, every living being around you, including God. Whether you know it or not, that's how it's set up. But if you want to go against the grain, or you want to go against the flow, and you want to sit up there and paddle all by yourself in another virtual reality of your own making, that your ego, the immature ego, has created. Selfish, very selfish, and it's only done through evil. And I don't, I'm gonna have to do a video on evil, because sometimes, like, if I'm using the word evil, it's not to say you're wicked and you're demonic and all that stuff. It just means that you're not plugged into the source power to go live. Let's just say you're not going live in life. You're doing the opposite. You take the word live, L-I-V-E, and you reverse it, it's E-V-I-L. You're evil. And actually, you're walking dead. You're not alive. You think you are. You think you're amongst everything, and in a sense, yeah, I guess. But you are not. You are not. You're still in black and white, baby. You ain't in technicolor. You don't have the animation that God really has within you, where you can shine like a supernova, like a superstar. All of us have the ability to do it. We just have to go with the flow of living one vibrational energy within ourselves, within our heart, our mind, our spirit, and within the living one vibrational energy that is prospering, growing, and maturing all of life. I will keep saying it over and over again until you get it. And I'm sure that, if you come back a second time, you got it. You understand. And yeah, let's start living in love, living through love instead of living through fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real. That's what fear is. That's that virtual reality you create, living in fear. Let's not do that anymore. Let's be our authentic selves and live life live. Live and in action. Is that how they used to say it? Live? Cameras, lights, action. No, there was no live in that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. What else do I have to say for today? Anything else? I don't know. I think that's it for today. That's all I can think of. Yeah, for now. I hope that you enjoyed this conversation today, and I hope you join me again when I decide to come up on here and conversate again. Because I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. I'm outside. That's incredible. Shoot, I'm going to get me a tan. I'm going to be looking golden brown instead of that paleness I've been looking for the last 15 years. I didn't even go outside. I hardly went outside. It's terrible. Depression. That's what I had. Depression, not knowing who and what, especially what I was. I thought I was a lost cause. I thought, just addicted to habits that I just can't break. I surrendered to it. But not anymore. Not anymore, honey. Yeah. In the old days, I'd be sitting back at home, probably smoking a cigarette. Right now, I'm sitting outside breathing good air, great air, beautiful air, sunshine. Oh, I just love it. Are you loving it too? Shoot, go on outside and join me. Yes. Put a smile on that face. Yeah, smile for no reason. Let the world wonder why. Look at me, I'm going on and on like you sitting right there next to me. Like we having a conversation, hanging out. Shit. That's how I be doing it. And not because I'm lonely or anything, but just because that's just the way I am. I always can talk to a stranger. I have no problem with that. But anyway, in the meantime, I'm just going to keep on enjoying this day, soaking up this sunshine, and just thinking about how beautiful my life is starting to be. How great it is, I might do a video saying single is the new married. Shoot, marry yourself up with God. Yes, marry yourself up with the living one vibrational energy. Because the who you are will keep on changing. You are always going to change into another who. But always remember the what. the God, the what, the unchanging what that you are. Just live in one vibrational energy. Hot diggity. And as long as you're in your ally, oh, that's a divine living one vibrational energy. But if you want to get in that ego, that virtual reality that you create within your mind that is total selfishness, well, that's toxic. That's toxic. L.O.V.E. We want to get rid of, it's the end times. It's the end times. That, for me, that means the old way got to go. The old way of living in fear, the old way of not knowing what you are, the old way of not even knowing who you are, the old way of belief, the old way of conditioning, education, being educated and not recognizing that we already have divine intelligence flowing all the way through us in everything. That old way of thinking. The Old Testament, the New Testament, the Old Covenant, the New Covenant, the Living Covenant, the Living Testament, the Living Testimony. Yes. Technicolor. That's where we're headed. That's where we're headed. The promised land. Are you ready? Are you ready? Because I'm bringing as many as I can bring. Come on. Let's go. You don't got to follow me. Come on, lead with me. Lead with me. I'm not looking for followers. I'm looking for leaders. Leaders in love. Leaders in spreading the good news, baby. Love is here. Been here all along, and it's here to stay. We just had to wake up to it. Wake up to it and rejoice in the brand new day. Anyway, look at me. I can go on and on. I just want you to know that, hey, I love you. I do. And I hope that you have a fantastic day. Because you know what? If you have a fantastic day, you know what that's going to mean for me, don't you? That means I'm going to have let me snap my fingers. Couldn't even do it. I was holding. Okay, wait a minute. If you have a fantastic day, Tinky, I'm going to have one too. Anyway, take care.